Donny Sleavehead Raines. This is my buddy Adam the Postman Faulkner, and this is this week's Tip of the Week. Today we're going to work the basic arm lock from the guard, transition to an arm lock. Pretty simple. All I'm doing is I'm grabbing the back of the tricep and the top of the head. Same side I got the tricep, I'm going to put my foot right in the guy's hip, just like this. Now all at once, all I'm going to do is I'm going to push his elbow in and his head his head in as well, kind of scissoring it in, and kick my leg, or with my leg I'm going to kick off to the side and get an angle this way. So all at once it's going to look just like this. Pretty simple. I'm going to keep this arm straight arm right to his chin, just like this. So if he tries to drive back into me, I'm already locked out, he's not going anywhere. And from here, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kick my leg over the top, just like this, pinch my knees together real tight, curl, throw my hips out. That's the first arm lock. Now a lot of guys are pretty tough, they're gonna try to fight out of it, so we're gonna have a backup for that. So the same setup here, I'm gonna go for the first arm lock. Say he starts to drive up into me, and he's gonna start pulling this arm out. All I'm gonna do when he starts to pull out, I'm gonna underhook this leg, and I'm gonna dip this shin right to the side of his neck, just like this. Just like that. And now at the same time, I'm gonna hook here, pull myself in, dip my leg, kick this leg across, just like that, curl him down to the ground. Once again, pinch your knees together and curl, throw your hips out. And that's the tip of the week. This is what it looks like in fast motion. Come join us every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 7 o'clock for jiu-jitsu class. Be tough like these guys. Not so much like these guys, yeah.
Do you think you're tough? Do you think you're bad?
Match in here. We had to get one of our NHB guys to come over to kickboxing. Donny Sleavehead Raines says, I've got to get a fight, and if you can't give me a fight in NHB, take me on over to kickboxing and I'll fight Chago.
And he's fighting Chago. That's quite a big fight to chew up, Mike.
Everybody that's gone in to fight Chago from the NHB ranks came back to NHB with their tail between their legs. What do you think's going to happen tonight?
I'm not going to call it, but I know Chago's been working hard after his loss to Mickey in the East Center. He's looking to get back there and fight him again.
I'm going to call it. It's going to be a great fight. Middleweight kickboxing, check it out.
Hey, why not? We're in the middle of a presidential election season, so you guys play a little politics there. Afraid to commit on one way or the other on this one, huh?
No, I'm committing this is going to be a great fight. People don't know that Donny Raines is actually a pretty good kickboxer. I think a lot of people, when they saw this on paper, felt Chago was going to destroy him. I'm going out on a limb by saying I don't think that's going to happen. Sleavehead's going to give him all he can handle.
Yeah, I would never bet that anybody would kill this guy, no matter what kind of fight was taking place. 5'10", 152 from West Valley. You see him training at Ultimate Combat and Walt Bayless. And one thing about Donny Sleavehead Raines, whether it's NHB, kickboxing, street fighting, this guy just loves to fight, and he told us that leading into the matchup.
I just love competition, man. I've been working on my kickboxing a lot, and I just thought he would be a good person to, work on it, get in the ring and try it out. I think he'd be a good opponent for me. Oh, I plan on making it to the top. That's the ultimate goal. That's what motivates me, probably more than anything, is just to see how far I can make it in the sport, and that's pretty much what keeps me driven. I have no idea.
If you're going to deliver that line, you got to do it a lot tougher than that, don't you?
You got to at least sound like you believe it. I mean, you sound like he's trying to convince himself.
Both come in with red trunks here tonight, a touch of the gloves, and we'll be underway with this kickboxing matchup. Chago has shown over the last couple of fights that he does kind of wait until those later rounds to get to work, but I'd be afraid of that strategy against Donny Raines.
He plays possum a lot. He waits for you to come to him, and he's a counter puncher. He's got a sneaky left leg kick, but I think he plays possum a little too much. He's going to have to come out kind of aggressive against Donny Raines, because Donny Raines is the kind of kid that if you give him openings like that, he'll take advantage of them.
And Donny will stand there and trade some shots with you, too. He knows he can take a punch, and so he'll put himself at risk just to get himself within range to hurt you bad, and you've seen that a couple of times already here.
Well, I think he's got Chago's attention. Chago's probably thinking, wow, this kid's a little better than I thought he was going to be. I better wake it up a little bit here, and that's what he's doing.
One thing about this matchup is, if you want to contrast it with some of the kickboxing matches we've seen, neither one of these guys are afraid to engage.
No, they're not, and unfortunately for Donny, he engaged a little too much there. He kind of wrapped up Chago out of habit from NHB, but he's easy to get. He's back. He's doing kickboxing now. He's got a nice rhythm going, and he's landed a couple of big shots on Chago, like that one right there.
Yeah, that was a good right hand, and I was going to say Lonnie, but it's Ethan that's actually our referee for this one. Under a minute left in round number one. Kickboxing, of course, scheduled for 2-minute rounds rather than the NHB 3.
One thing Donny's doing is he's throwing that roundhouse kick to the head head. He's not setting it up at all, and that's a common mistake. Chago's complaining about a groin shot, which looked to be an inside leg kick to me, and that happens a lot with Chago. I don't know if he's very well endowed or what, but he sure complains about those a lot.
I was about to say, the last time we saw him, he was complaining about some low blows. And again, Chago takes a good shot with a right hand, and Donny Raines follows it up with a left kick.
Donny's doing some really nice stuff here in the first round, and he's got Chago a little bit frustrated. And Chago, you see the grimace on his face. He's taken a couple of pretty big, heavy shots by Donny Raines.
Again, Ethan steps in and he's got something to say to Donny. I'm not sure what it is here, but that's the second or third time in this first round he's done it.
Well, I think he was complaining. It looked like Donny was about to wrap up Chago. That time he didn't. He continued to throw punches, so I think maybe Ethan stepped in a little too soon, but pretty good job from both guys. I'm going to have to give that first round to Donny Raines on a very slight edge.
You know, the thing that happens with Chago, I'm noticing, is he gets that left leg up there, and rather than snapping it, he keeps it out there a while, and maybe that's what leads to those low blow kicks.
You see here on your Crush Combat Cam, brought to you by Southern Exposure, some pretty good exchanges going both ways. Chago landed a pretty nice little uppercut there, and Donny Raines landed a few kicks of his own. That kick might have been a little bit to the groin, might have come up to the groin, so Chago might have had a legitimate complaint right there.
But you see, rather than snapping it out there, he kind of raises it up and then extends it, and his opponent's going to throw a kick from the right side, and, you know, if that leg's not there, you take a chance on getting a kick to the groin.
Were you saying something, Tim? I got distracted.
You know what? I got a little distracted myself, as a matter of fact.
My goodness gracious, it is round 2 already, isn't it?
Round number 2 coming up between Sleavehead Donny Raines making his first kickboxing appearance against a veteran, a wily guy at that, Chago, and he said he was going to wait until the later rounds. Let's see if he goes to work a little bit more here.
Donny Raines do a running start punch move there. He's seen that stuff on K1, and it's kind of it's actually an effective move. He landed a couple of big punches off of it.
He's doing a good job of getting that kick up there to the head, or at least to the level of the head of Chago. He's done that 3 or 4 times in the first round. He's already laid it out there twice here to start the second.
Chago missing on some big punches, though. He just missed a big uppercut a moment ago and just missed a couple of big straight lefts and rights, and he's just a little bit off target tonight, it seems, and it might be due to the fact that Donny has really good footwork. He's in, he's out, and he moves quite a bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, he hasn't really gotten a handle on his spacing very well yet, speaking of Chago, and he's taken some good shots, and so out of respect for the power of Donny Raines, he hasn't really stepped inside and kept himself in range.
And another example right there, he missed some big shots, including that hook there at the end that just looked like a windmill punch, and Donny Raines seems to have more accuracy. He's landing more punches more frequently than Chago is.
A right punch and a left kick. We've seen that combination quite a bit from Donny Raines, and he scores a couple of points again there.
Donny Raines brought a pretty good contingency to watch him tonight. He's a popular fighter, but he's never done kickboxing before, and so far he's done a really good job against the best the Ultimate Combat has to offer.
Right now these guys, again, sizing each other up. Chago looks to be winded a little bit, but as you said, he likes to play possum, so it's always hard to tell whether he's winded, injured, or just waiting for a guy to maybe step in and make a mistake that he can take advantage of.
Well, Chago did mention to me earlier in the night he's feeling a little under the weather tonight. He did want to take the fight, though. He wants to get a fight any opportunity he can. He is showing a little signs of being fatigued and maybe being a little bit sick, but I think a lot of that has to do with, I think, Donny Raines is pressing the action here and really making him work a lot harder than he expected he'd had to.
There's another big roundhouse kick that misses from Donny Raines, and 4 seconds left in the second round. We're going to end it probably just like this, and again, we're at risk here of turning it over to the judges for a scorecard decision as we head to the third and final round.
Well, I'm going to again give a slight edge to Donny Raines there. Chago missed too many punches. He threw a lot of punches and missed, and Donny Raines seemed to be more accurate. You see here on your Crush Combat Cam, brought to you by Rocky Mountain Jeep, where Donny Raines did land a big right hand there, and he landed a lot of punches throughout the round. That Chago did get a few in here and there.
And there's a good kick from Chago, but Donny Raines takes advantage of an opportunity to throw a right hand following that. Both corners instructing their fighters on what they need to do a little differently, be a little more aggressive as we look to round number 3, third and final one coming up. 2 minutes away, if we do go to a judge's scorecard, from finding out whether Donny Raines can pick up his first victory in his first ever kickboxing match.
Well, from everything I've seen so far, I don't think either one of these guys are going to get knocked out. They both landed some pretty good shots, and both of them seem to be able to take the best the other had. Donny Raines just seems to be a little more accurate. Chago's going to need to have a big round here in order to pull this thing out.
Tell you what I'm impressed with to start this third round is after going 2 full rounds with Chago, you see Donny Raines still having the wherewithal, the strength, and the power to get those kicks right where they need to be if he's going to score a knockout with a kick.
Donny landed another one of those flying punches there. It's kind of deceiving. He fakes a shot to the body and then comes up over the top to the head. Doing a nice job of that. He's landed that 2 or 3 times tonight.
Tries a little push kick there, and Chago getting the best of that exchange with 2 shots that find their target.
And Donny Raines wrapping him up out of instinct. And again, that was a good wrap-up, I think. Chago was pouring it on a little bit there, and Donny did a nice job of stopping that action and getting re-broken, reset up.
Well, you could see that punch coming from all the way across the ring, couldn't you, as Chago loaded it up.
Well, Chago does that a lot, though. He feigns it, and then sometimes he lets it go, and that time he let it go. But I think Donny's seen Chago's tricks. He's seen this stuff before, and he's not going to fall for that.
All right, so we are 49 seconds away from what could be our second judges' scorecard decision of the night. 2 really good fights to get us started. We're glad you've tuned in tonight to Z24 TV. Hope you're enjoying the Ultimate Combat Experience action.
I'll tell you what, this so far has been a great kickboxing matchup, and as you see here with 30 seconds left, Donny Raines came into a sport that's not his sport and did a really good job, represent himself admirably. Chago doing some nice stuff here at the end, but I'm not sure that it's just too little too late.
Now you see the fatigue setting in on both sides as Donny having a little harder time keeping those gloves up.
Now with 14 seconds left, these guys are going to end things with a flurry. You know these guys do. Chago always does, and I'm sure that Donny Raines is going to be happy to stand here and give us a nice trade to finish things off.
One tough thing about turning it over to a judge's scorecard in a situation like this is, you know, somebody's going to be unhappy, and there's a sign of more of that fatigue as Chago just spits that mouth guard out, raises his hand. He believes he's got a victory here. We'll see what the judges think.
You know, Chago does look like he's a little bit, he's a little sick tonight. Maybe you didn't see Chago's best game. We'd like to see this fight maybe again, but I think Donny Raines did pull this fight out, but a lot of it might have to do with the fact that Chago just didn't have enough in the tank due to being sick. You see it in your Crush Combat Cam. Brought to you by Hot 94.9 The Blaze, where it was a good exchange here in the final round, but as I said earlier, it might have been just a little too late.
You see those Sleavehead fans sitting there ringside with their T-shirts on. Let's listen. You know they're going to give it to Donny Raines, and I'll bet Jimmy's not happy with that, although he's not reacting a whole lot over there in the corner.
Well, Jimmy, I think, knew that Chago wasn't feeling so well, and I don't think he's going to complain about this one.
So, does he come back next time as NHB or kickboxing? We'll find out when the Sleavehead comes back to Ultimate Combat. The Keyhole with their new location at 3460 South Redwood Road.
Sleavehead, man, we know you've been ruling the competition in the NHB world, absolutely dominating, fighting guys like Josh Buck and beating them. Then you get in for kickboxing, and you fight a tough match, and you walk away the victor against Chago, who's one tough kid. How do you feel about the fight?
I feel good. You know, when I asked to kickbox, I asked to give me one of the, the best guy they got. And Chago is definitely one of the toughest guys they got. I mean, you can hit him, and the dude just won't go down. He's a great kickboxer, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, that's why it's going to be so fun to watch us at home, because you guys were trading shots and knocking each other around this ring, dropping those leg kicks, and, you know, Donny, we're proud of you. Both NHB and kickboxing. Nice job tonight, man.
Hey, thanks a lot, Johnny.
Nice job, Donny.